Real quick, name's Big Unk, channel's all up in ya. I gotta give this disclaimer just before we start this video. I do gun content. I do life vlogs. I do a little bit of everything, some reviews and things like that. But I wanna let you know, I do not sell any firearms. I am not promoting the sale of any firearms. This is for entertainment purposes only. Do not try any of this stuff at home. Just the general disclaimers. I purchase everything that you see in these videos with my own money. No one sponsors me. So even if I have an interview or I'm going over to see someone shop, that is all in fun. They are not paying me. I'm not receiving any free items. I'm just doing this because I like to make videos and I like to put video content out there for you. If this is something that you're into, go ahead and hit that thummy thingy up or down for me. If not, keep it pushing, no hard feelings. And with that, let's get back to the video. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit, had some life stuff happen. Hopefully I'm back. It wasn't that I did not want to make videos. I just didn't want some of the things that were going on in my life to spill over into the videos. That's pretty much it. What has been going on every year since the event in 2019, 2020, I have had a family member die. And my biggest supporter of this channel and my biggest viewer, she recently passed on, and that was my my mother. Still a little bit hard to talk about, but hey, here we are. What are we going over today? We are going to be going over some upgrades that I did to the Hellcat Pro and the reason I did them. Now, first and foremost, this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not advertising or selling any guns. I am not condoning any violence, and no one is sponsoring me. If we talk about how much a product is worth for this video, we will use bottles of water. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Like I told you guys just a minute ago, my mother passed away. If you remember when I first started the channel, my brother had passed away and I had got the Hellcat Pro. Now, I did some upgrades to it when you last saw me. We had done a Hogue grip. I really love this Hogue grip. Firearm is clear. There's nothing in the magazine. There's the magazine over to the side. But this Hellcat Pro I got as a memorial gun for my brother. And I did not do anything to it for a long time. I put a whole grip on. I put a Tyrant CNC magazine release. But I did a couple other upgrades. I put in a Tyrant CNC trigger. Let's see if you can see it that way. And it's a very good trigger. Over the past year, well, I've had this gun about two and a half years. Over the past two and a half years, I've learned to shoot with irons. I did not want a sight. I carry this gun all the time. Again, this was my brother's memorial gun. Now that my mother has passed, I had an Optic that I wanted to put on this particular firearm. And I needed a plate to put it on. I wanted this to be flush mount, and I wanted something to remember my mother by, kind of like a all-seeing eye type thing. She's always looking over me. My brother's always watching out for me. And that's one of the reasons I carry this gun. I shot Mike's gun. In one of the videos, Mike had a Glock 45 and he had this O sight on it. And he was saying that the O sight was about half the price as a Holosun. And I have a Holosun that I took off of another gun, and I'm going to be putting it on a gun. But I've primarily been shooting with irons for about the past 2 years. I've become pretty proficient with those, and I'm going to continue to take some classes. While I became proficient with the iron sights, I wanted to move up to a optic. The optic I chose that directly fits the Hellcat Pro is the Osight SE. I did a lot of research on this, shot mics, shot really good. And for the price, which was, I think this was like 130 bottles of water. This is the optic here. Came with all the screws. Fantastic so far. I've got some footage of me at the range. Had to get it sighted in. I used that little $30 bore sighter that you saw me and Mike use at the range. I went, plugged that puppy in, and got it on target. Popped off a few rounds, and it was great. I took it out to, I think the first time I took it out to about 25 yards, and those groups were, it was all over the place kind of. So I brought it into 20 yards, sighted it in at 20 yards, then I progressively worked back to, I think it was 5 to 7 yards. Once I hit the 5 to 7 yard mark, I moved it back out to 25 yards and got some good groups. It's a little longer video. I may make that a part 2, put a couple of scenes of me shooting the Hellcat Pro in there, but let's see what comes in the box. So you get this little thank you message in the box. It's really nicely packaged. For the money that you pay for this sight, this optic, you don't see that with the bigger name companies. They throw stuff in a little Coke bag, and they're on their merry way. They mark it with whatever, you know, size screw it is, and they're on their way. This is very well done. In the box, you get this little installation guide on how to zero it. You, of course, get your little microfiber cloth. This is my old plate. Let me see if I can. My old plate to fit on there. I just keep it in here just in case I want to put it back on. And one of the screws had actually popped off. That was one of the things when I first went down to see my mother. She died 2 days after Valentine's Day, and she held out until I got there. I was the last one to see her, got to talk to her. It was a really good time. But she battled with cancer and finally lost that battle. But in the box, let me take this out. You get a little sealant pack. I've got my screw for my gun, so we'll put that over here. But the optic comes in here. You get a owner's manual that's in the bottom. I haven't taken it out. I'll probably read it someday, but you know how it is. I'm a man, and usually we don't read a bunch of stuff. We get in, watch a couple videos, and we're done. In this little square package that fits in here, you get something that's really nice. So this one is even better than Hollow Sun. You get the little screwdriver to take off the optic, and that's on the bottom here. And then you get the little flat piece to take off to adjust the optic, and like a little screwdriver. But there's a little skull on here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's a little skull in here. So I really like this one. Stainless steel. It's not plastic. It doesn't feel plasticky. It might be plastic, but feels good either way. This is the best part. Now, it's a little hard to read on the top. I had to get my phone because I'm old. But in each of these little plastic containers are screws. And they give you all the screws that you would need to mount your Optic. That means if I have another firearm that I can put it on, because all screws don't fit the same guns, I can actually find the screw that I need and have a place to put them back so they don't get lost. Because these are expensive. If you go on Amazon or Fastenal or other places where you can get replacement screws, they can get pretty pricey. This is wrapped up, and you turn this around for presentation purposes. There's the box. Let me put this back in here so I don't lose it. That's the Optic that I chose to put on here for this gun. Since I started playing with iron sights and started manipulating it, the firearm, it shoots really good. The other upgrade was this Tyrant CNC trigger. I chose a silver color. It doesn't add any weight. It was pretty easy to install myself. I watched they have a Tyrant CNC video that's dedicated to show you how to put on this trigger. There were a few videos about the O-sight, and I watched tons of those as well. The other thing that I did was, for this particular gun, the torque specs were 17 pounds. Once I got them all torqued down, I don't know if you can see that. That orange part, I got a little $1.49 paint marker from Walmart. And once I had them torqued, I just rubbed it across the screw, and the Optic, if it starts to back out, I'll be able to tell. I don't know if you can see the dot on here, but there's three different types of dots. You got a little small dot. This is I think this is a 3 MOA. 3 MOA dot. You've got right here on the box, it'll show you can have a circle with a dot in the middle. You have a dot, and then you can just have a circle, and the cycle through it is pretty easy. But so far, I like it. It's zeroed in, shoots really good. This Tyrant CNC trigger is butter. So every day I get up and I just dry fire a little bit. Let me try to show you this. Reset on this trigger. Right there. That's the reset. Pull is about 4 pounds. And then ooh, butter. I'm not telling you what trigger to get or even to change your trigger. I decided to change the trigger because this one is a little wider. This Tyrant CNC trigger, I can't show you, but it is a little wider, gives you a better purchase on your finger, on that tip, on your little booger picker. And so that way you don't have to wrap your hand all the way around. I see people put their second knuckle, but when I went to the class and I really started getting into the fundamentals and getting better at shooting, I practiced where my finger is. And it's not bad. I really like that trigger. As for the magazine release, this Tyrant CNC makes it a little bit bigger. It looks really grippy and aggressive. It's not, it's just like a little pad. When I press it, it pops that magazine right out. I can really get a good purchase on it. I switched it around because I'm left-handed to the right side. And that's pretty much it. I've upped my ammo game. I got another 1,000 rounds of ammunition. So at least once a week, with my time the way it is, at least once a week, I try to make to the range. I'll pull this one out. Sometimes I pull the Glock out as well. But these are my primary carry guns. And if you have a Hellcat Pro and you are thinking about upgrades, oh, one other thing before I forget, the slide stop. That's a Tyrant CNC slide as well. So all Tyrant CNC, the slide stop, the magazine release, and the Tyrant CNC trigger. These were some of the upgrades that I just did over time. They range from 50 bottles of water to this, which was about 130, 140 for the O sight. The whole grip was about, I think it was 15 to 19 bottles of water. Now, this build is complete. This is complete. Thank you guys for bearing with me and sticking through this and waiting until I was ready to be able to get some more content out there, but it's worth it. I just needed a break. I think everybody would understand if you had one family member every year pass away. It takes a little bit of toll on your mental, whether you believe it or not, and I just needed to step away so that I can make better content and get back out to you. With that being said, I've got some more stuff coming down the pipe. Glock that I've been slowly upgrading as well. After shooting with the irons, I realized that some things that I wanted to change, not fundamentally with the gun, not to take integrity away from any of these firearms, just to tweak them just a little bit. No slide cuts, didn't Cerakote, it's not Gucci. This is still a workhorse. This is something where if it gets taken from me, I will be upset. This is what this gun's purpose is to put in the work if needed, which I hope it is never needed. That being said, until next time, and you know there will be a next time, I'm out.